And I'm just really proud that everybody came out to talk about the big job ahead of us here in the District of Columbia. And one thing that I am very proud of as a person who was born and raised here is the great diversity of our city, aren't you? Yes. And as we continue to grow, and we are a city of 660,000, and we're going to grow to be even more of that, 150,000 more over the next 25 years. It's so important that we continue to focus on making sure that everybody has a place in that wonderful diversity. So I am wanted to be here with Sharon Hines and our new director. You both come up so everybody can see you. You probably have already spoken, right? You were waiting for me. Oh, good. So I actually get to introduce my appointee who will direct this office, and I'm so looking forward to his leadership. He has so much energy and fresh ideas about the diversity that is our African community. So one thing I know, Africa is a big continent, right? So we shouldn't talk about the African community like it's just one voice or one experience or one culture. And it's so important that to me that we had a leader that can speak about the diversity of the African experience and the wonderful richness of the whole community. So that's why I'm pleased to formally introduce you to, though I know he's been busy at work for several weeks, Mamadou Samba. Give him a big round. So let me say a little bit about Mamadou. He hails from Dakar, Senegal, and is definitely an adopted son of the district. He began his career right here in D.C. government as a Capital City Fellow. Right, Capital City Fellows, where he rotated in the office of the Chief Financial Officer, also in the Department of General Services, and the Office on African Affairs, serving the office and that he now leads. So Mamadou most recently worked as a capital budget administration analyst in the office of the CFO, where he was primarily responsible responsible for the formulation and execution of the district's $7 billion capital improvement plan. So Mamadou will work with Sharon Hines, who oversees the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs. And that office not only houses African affairs, I see our Latino Affairs Director here, Women's Affairs, AAPI, Religious Affairs, Returning Citizens, LGBT Affairs, but also our Mopers operation, and that's the Mayor's Office of Community Relations. It's very important to me as a person who served nearly 8 years as a ward council member, ANC commissioner before that, and I've spent my career making communities and making government work for communities to have energetic, talented, and hardworking people. I firmly believe that I was elected last November to ensure that we had a fresh start in our government. But more than that, to ensure that we continue the wonderful growth that we've experienced in DC and make sure more people have a place in that growth. I want us to be a city where people can afford to grow old here. I want us to be a city where the schools are responsive to young people, be they from Senegal or Petworth. I want us to be a city where small businesses, be they in IT or construction or fashion or medicine or accounting, can have a fair shot working with our government, the federal government, and being really successful in the private sector. And I am very proud to be the leader of this city at this time, because I think with the right leadership and focus and commitment and accountability, that we can expand this middle class in Washington, D.C. Are you with me with that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to need your help. And I'm going to need the Office of African Affairs to work hard. The purpose of this office is to advocate, to leverage the resources of your good ideas and talents in your networks, to make sure we're getting every bit out of every agency in DC government, and I know we can do it together. So I thank you for being with us at this open house. I hope that you're going to be with us. I call this where the rubber meets the road show. You know what that means? We're going to have 3 budget engagement forums beginning February 19th, again on the 21st and the 23rd, where we want to hear from you before we finalize our budget. What's important, where the priorities are. You know, we have to close some gaps, but we also have to be able to fund the big ideas that I promised you, like investing in $100 million every year in affordable housing, like making sure we're using our job training money to actually prepare DC residents for good, sustaining jobs so they can afford to live here in the District of Columbia. So come out, talk about the budget, talk about your fresh ideas, and let's get to work. Thank you very much.
Fresh Start Open House event. It's been a tremendous success. I've really enjoyed the last several weeks working with Mamadou and Haran in the office and with several of you as constituents for the past 6 weeks. So I look forward to us continuing our work together. And again, thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. Mamadou Samba and Mayor Abauze, thank you so much for the confidence that you've entrusted in me. And you're right, I am an adopted son of the district. And I am an adopted son of the district. That's because when I was dying to be a public servant, everybody said no to me, and the district said yes.
Yes.
So this is why I was very excited to join the district as a Capital City Fellow, and I wanted to recognize Alex Caceres and Polino, who joined the program with me actually as Capital City Fellows.
Mamadou, come on, Talibu.
She got me on that one. So, and I also wanted to take the time to thank Sharon Hines for her patience and for her support. I've sent her over 10,000 emails the past few weeks, and I think I'm about 2 emails away from her blocking me from my account. So I also want to make the time to thank my staff for putting all of this together to make sure that Mayor Bowser is welcome and you guys are welcome. So starting with Heron, what is she? She's my deputy director. She's the best deputy director ever. I have a couple of interns. I don't know where they are. So there's Muriel Job. She's one of the program interns. Abdel Maliki, Tamara Borolet, who had to leave early. And 2 volunteers, Sharif Al-Hassani, training. And they wanted me to make sure to ask you if you guys are hiring because they're looking for jobs. So my vision for my Fresh Start commitment is to build on the best practices and expand the vision in the reach of the Office of African Affairs. Together, I hope we will strive to meet the diverse and growing needs of the African community by improving constituent services, strengthening capacity, and raising the visibility of this office, and also improving customer service, which is one of the things that I care about. My vision also is one that promotes intercultural collaboration and team building between the countries and cultures. I hope to promote a vision that seeks to unite a vision, one that seeks the best in what unites entire African country, rather than the one that divides the community. One that promotes inclusiveness of all backgrounds and ideas, rather than focus on individual countries or cultures in efforts that are often isolated and done in silos. I also hope to expand the reach of this office by reaching out to non-African communities in the district. This is why I made it a point during my first days as a director to reach out to my new BFF, Jackie Reyes. She's the director of the Office of Latino Affairs, because I believe that even though we come from different cultures, even though our communities may speak different languages, even though we may have different cultures, and we may even have different tastes in music. But I believe that as immigrant communities, we have similar challenges and similar obstacles. And so my team and I welcome the opportunity to collaborate with you and all district government agencies to help improve the city and help Mayor Bowser's great vision. So to demonstrate my commitment to collaboration, I've decided to change my name. Yes. And from now on, I shall be known as Mamadou Ricky Ricardo something. And I think my deputy director wanted to change her name to Selma Hayek. I don't know. So having spent some time in this office as a staff member, a member of the Commission on African Affairs, and now the director, I do know one thing that is very clear to me, which is I cannot do this job by myself. I'm sorry to disappoint. I can walk on water, but I just can't do this job. So I will need your help and support. Haran and I will need your help and support. And I hope that you guys will be here for us. So to close out this ceremony, so we decided to launch our Fresh Start effort by launching a new logo. Wow. So this is the current logo. And I'm going to need your help. Help me count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Magic.
There you go. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
As African people, we support your candidacy, and we want you to say something to African community because it's African program media. They're going to follow you today. What is the message you can tell Africans?
Well, what we want everybody to know is that I am grateful to be Mayor of Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States of America, and we're a growing and diverse city, and we really value our diversity. People from the entire African continent call Washington, D.C. home, and we want to make sure our schools, our housing, our transportation, and our small business environment supports them, and I'm committed to doing it.
Yeah, we're always supporting the program here, but one of the complaints we have is that African people complain that when they apply for the grant money, many of them do not really have it. What is the qualification to get that money?
Well, it may be that some people don't qualify for grants, and we want to work with them to see if they are offering a service that the district needs. And I certainly will work with nonprofits, but nonprofits that are working for us.
Excuse me, what do you have to say to the African immigrant that still believe that this administration is a continuation of the mayor of the same place?
I don't know why anybody would think that.
I mean, we still have some cynics and skeptics within the African community. What have you said?
I haven't heard any African tell me that.
I heard that. I'm a journalist and people tell me a lot of stuff. So
well, I'd be interested to hearing from them directly. Thank you.
reconnaître dans Washington DC, Madame Muriel qui a tenu à rassurer que son groupe africaine reste ouvert à toutes les demandes, peu importe l'ethnicité, le groupe ou la religion ou la culture. La capitale Washington DC sous sa commande souhaite la bienvenue à tous et qui veut se rassurer que les immigrés qui sont dans la capitale de DC seront bien traités à son niveau. Muriel, qui a tenu à assurer que pour elle, il n'est pas question de comparer son nouveau bureau à celui de son prédécesseur Vincent Grey, car elle n'y voit pas de connexion. Comme elle a dit tout à l'heure à notre collègue journaliste, c'était un plaisir de vous avoir informé que je suis là.
So Amadou Kuyate, and we have two Ethiopian artists here among us, master Masenko player, Senteng, if you find him anywhere in town, he is a master musician on this Masenko, the one-string Ethiopian instrument. And we have Almas, who's a dancer and a singer, and they're all donating their time to be with us today for the open house. We also have to thank Little Ethiopia, our folks who sponsored their arrival and made the connection for them to perform here. So a hand of appreciation, please. Before I begin, I'd also like to introduce and welcome our commissioners. As most of you might know, we have a group of commissioners who, when they're at full quota, I guess, when they fill up, it will be 15 members. We have quite a few of our commissioners in the house today. They serve as an advisory group to the Office on African Affairs. They are our eyes and ears on the ground in the community. They're all hiding behind me, so maybe I'll pull them out. Dr. Akuya Asari, who is the chair of the Commission on African Affairs. We have Lloyd George Esquire, who is our vice chair. We have Kadis Tugaremo, who is the secretary of the Commission of African Affairs. We have Ms. Ifi Mabuku and Mr. Yusuf Yunusa, who are both commissioners also of the Commission on African Affairs. I would maybe take a couple of minutes to tell you a little bit about what the Office on African Affairs does, and then I will take off and invite our Commissioner's Chair, Dr. Akuya Asari, to say a few words to you, after which I'll introduce the Director of the Community Affairs Office, who is our new Fresh Start Director coming on board, so she'll have a few words for you as well. The Office on African Affairs, I'm sure most of you are familiar with what the office does. We do a number of programs and we provide a number of services for the African community here in the district. We have programs that include constituent services, people walking through the door, looking for employment, looking for housing, African immigrants trying to find a way of making a living in the district. We help them by responding to some of their concerns. We have an outreach and education component to what we do, a lot of targeted, culturally, linguistically targeted educational campaigns and programs. We do capacity building work with businesses, with nonprofits, technical assistance, kind of connecting them to government, district agency, resources and funding where possible. We have a multicultural awareness and development component, works mostly in the culture area. We facilitate dialogue, we take part in a lot of conversations that have to do with African identity here in the district. And our big multicultural event is our DC citywide festival that happens once a year. We have a youth engagement program that works with DCPS and young folks, young Africans who are in the public school system, kind of engaging them, civic engagement, and also trying to hear from them, helping them get a voice in the community. There are plenty of internship opportunities. Mamadou will introduce our interns. I really think both our office and our community, the strength of what we have is the immense diversity in language and culture. And our office reflects that, our interns reflect that. A lot of languages are spoken and cultures are brought to the table, and it's extremely exciting to be in that setting. We also have a bi-weekly newsletter. It's something you can all sign up to, African Beat newsletter. It's online, it's free, it's where we advertise a lot of what's going on in the community, and we invite people to send us promotional materials that we can help you get the word out on. I will stop there, and I will leave the podium for Dr. Akuya Asari, who will say a few words of welcome. Thank you all for coming. It's a fantastic turnout.
Good evening, beautiful people. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Nice. It's so good to see all of you. As Haran said, my name is Akuya Asari, Dr. B, MD. And I am the chair of the Commission on African Affairs. And really our purpose is to be an advocacy group for the various African communities here in DC. So we work with the office very closely in a collaborative manner to bring those issues to the mayor. We also discuss various policy issues, and in general, we're here to advocate for you guys. So we meet once a month, the second Wednesday of every month, upstairs on the 4th floor. The meetings are open for the most part, then we have a closed session afterwards. So come, tell us what's going on. We're here for you. We appreciate your presence. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Loida George, and I am the vice chair of the commission. And I just wanted to speak a little bit about some upcoming plans that we have. In the daytime, I'm an immigration attorney and an advocate for immigrants, specifically the African diaspora. So much, when we hear about immigration in the news, we usually hear about our Latino brothers and sisters. However, there's a large pool of immigrants within the district that are from the diaspora. And we on the commission want to make a pointed and concerted effort to do outreach to these communities, especially with Obama's recent executive action that was announced this November. It's actually going to get started as of February 18. Expanded DACA, which is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, will be initiated as of February 18. And then mid-May, there's going to be DAPA, which is Deferred Action for Parents of American Citizens and Legal Permanent Residents. Now, all things considered, there's a lot of rumors when this type of thing happens. There's a lot of bad information that's disseminated within the immigrant communities. A lot of street corner advice, fake attorneys, immigration consultants, and or disbarred attorneys or attorneys that just don't really care about the communities that they service. And these are times when our populations are vulnerable, extra vulnerable. So we on the commission want to make it an invitation to partner with CBOs, churches, religious communities where we know that our constituents feel safe to go to have workshop forums where we will inform you on the basics, the A to Z on what this executive action is all about. One thing it is not is amnesty. It is not a free-for-all, everybody get a green card. That's not what it is. There are some very clear parameters for the individuals that are eligible, and we want to make sure that the right people get the right advice, because the last thing you want to do is not be eligible and out yourself, for lack of a better description. So if you're interested, specifically your community, this is not a one-on-one thing, this is outreach to community groups. So if you're a religious organization or your CBO that caters specifically to the African diaspora community is interested in partnering with OAA and the Commission, we would love to try and organize several workshops throughout the community in the upcoming months where we can get accurate information out to our community. All right, thank you very much. And on behalf of my fellow commissioners, we welcome servicing you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know Noida here has on her Esquire hat, but her other hat is she's an excellent jazz singer, vocalist. So pardon my way of plugging this, but she's singing around. She's always singing in the area, in the local area most of the time, and she's doing a Valentine's special. So if you guys are out and about, ready for some jazz music, Bohemian Cavern, you might think of dropping by. Let me, while I have a couple more minutes before the Community Affairs Director is introduced, let me say a couple of things about a very recent program that we began maybe a year or two ago, into the second fiscal year now, the African Community Grant Program. We have been authorized as a grant-making agency, and there's a competitive process to which community-based organizations can apply, targeting mainly African-serving and African-run community-based organizations or organizations that serve Africans. So we're in the second cycle now of awarding grants, and we have, I see at least one of our grantees in the crowd, Anthony Chiwuku. He's the citywide computer person. Hi, Anthony, and maybe a few more. Basically, the community grant runs on the mayor's priorities. We find community-based organizations that are doing programming on issues of health, issues of employment, and other mayoral priorities. So the next cycle should probably be kicking in the summer, usually, and for the whole fiscal year we'll be funding beginning September. So we'll put the word out. Any and all of you who know people or who are, sorry, I'm recognizing some of our grantees. Hepatitis Initiative of Washington, D.C. is here. I don't know if any others, if you're here, raise your hand. Oh, Ethiopian Community Center, Mela Kapeda is here. So we have quite a group of grantees, about 8 every year, and we're trying to grow the pot so we can support our community-based organizations and faith-based organizations as well. A couple more minutes until our Community Affairs Director comes in. I think she's not in the room yet. She's coming.
Who's taking it? Okay, right here.
Shake everybody!